Hello.
Hello, ladies. How is everybody tonight? One of my favorite things about Harley Quinn's makeup is you can really do a lot of different things with it, and you don't have to go all out. You can if you want to, but it's not necessary. You can go glam, you can go grunge, and you can even do like the Birds of Prey, which is very basic. It's just a little bit of eyeshadow. And I think obviously we all know the signature is the heart that she's got and kind of the smeared red lipstick. And if you can do those two things, most people are going to know that you're Harley Quinn. But the other thing is to definitely make your face look pale. She doesn't have like the full-on white clown face that the Joker does. And again, depending what look you're going for, sometimes she's got like that smooth porcelain look. Other times she's got like that kind of crackled, grungy look. So I say work what works for you. Honestly, there's been times where my skin was a mess. And for Halloween, I was going to be Harley Quinn. So I just kind of went with the more grunge look. But with our skincare, you guys know it's not often that our skin looks a mess. So I today was able to kind of go with a more smoothed over look. I did want to, just for the sake of saving time, do that before I got on here. But really what I use is our concealer, the zero shade, because it's waterproof, so it's going to last a lot longer, especially if you're trying to wear it for a longer period of time out trick-or-treating or at a Halloween party. But also because I think it is the perfect color for that porcelain. I do know we have a foundation that is a shade lighter than mine. I have the ivory. We do have a porcelain, which is a shade lighter. So I've heard people use that as well. So I think you can really use what you choose, or you could combine the two. The other thing I definitely recommend, and that I did for both when I did the Joker's makeup and Harley Quinn's, is our translucent setting powder. Mine is a mess right now because of the concealer. But the trick really is to get a full coverage, and I just use a short brush, and then I use some setting spray on my blender full and really just kind of stamp it out to get everything kind of one solid shade of white. And then I take my blender full, again, it's damp with just setting spray, push it right into that setting powder. So you're going to see you get quite a bit. But it really, really helps not only hold everything into place, but give you that clean porcelain look that, again, kind of whatever version of Harley you're going for has. But the good thing is, again, if you want to do more, you want to do less, you totally can. Honestly, if you've got clear skin and you don't even really want to do the foundation concealer and you just want to do the eyeshadow and lips and the heart, you can totally do that. So I started, like I said before I got on here, for the sake of saving time, I'm going to explain to you guys how I did the blue side for the shades, and then I'm going to do the red side real quick. I think I was supposed to introduce myself, so I started to. I'm Ashleigh. I'm a mother of two. As you can see, I've hijacked my daughter's room. If you hear craziness, it's my kids playing Fortnite downstairs. Had to basically make a pact with them to be able to have time to come do this at this time of night, because I'm usually with them. But for the blue side, I started with Jesse's Girl. I really like to go in with the lighter shade to kind of outline the shape of what I'm going to do. You can see I have kind of like downturned and hooded eyes. So I like to pull the look up here, but then to get that, signature Harley makeup, you have to kind of do the triangle down here. So I go in with the Jesse's Girl to kind of outline it all. And then I make sure to use my setting spray and a blending brush. And I went in with the Oasis on top to give it that darker royal blue that she's known for. And then I personally am awful with eyeliner. You can see, got the shaky hands. So what I like to do is use a flat tip brush like this. And then I put it in our 09 eyeshadow. I don't know the name, but the number is 9. It's a matte black. And I just kind of line my upper and lower lid with that. And then I like to kind of bring it up again to make my eye have that upturned look. So I'm going to do that now, but I'm going to use the shades that I do for the red over here. Now, again, there's no rules. It is what it is, but they do say the Harley Quinn is supposed to be red on the right side, blue on the left side, but do as you please. The only thing that I always try to remember is the heart is on the same side that she does the red, and then the smeared lip is on the opposite side of the red. So I actually am going to go in first with our shade, which is 01. Again, don't know the name, just know the color, or just know the number. I like to use that as kind of a base and a primer, and I did that actually on the other side. So even though it is a blue, I did it in the corner of my other side there just to kind of highlight. You might be able to see. And I will say you want to start with clean brushes. Unfortunately, I am a bit of a perfectionist and wanted to practice earlier. So my brushes are already kind of the colors that I need them, but work with what works for you, right? All right, so I just kind of tried again to use it as a primer and then again to highlight the inner corner of my eye. So that was the 01, and then I'm going to go in with, I believe this is number 11. I use, sorry, again, the blindness. I use kind of a flat brush to put it all over, and you'll see, just like I did on the blue side, I like to use a lighter shade to start, and then I'll go in with a darker shade. And I think, again, it's just because for me, I have a little bit less error that way, starting with a lighter shade, and it takes less time in the long run. But if you like just the lighter shades, you can totally do that, because again, remember the Birds of Prey Harley is more like a, I don't know, I guess you would say like a pop version. She's not as grunge. Her colors are more like teal and pink than they are blue and red. So it's all in what you want to do. If you want to combine the two looks, you can totally do that. Sometimes that's what I do. It really just depends, the mood, the time, the colors that I have. But I will say, as many times as I have done Harley Quinn makeup, which is probably a ridiculous amount, I have never had the results that I have from LimeLife's makeup, with the staying power, the way it looks overall, the way that it looks in person, the way that it photographs. It's leaps and bounds from the difference of the stuff that I used to use. And I really like Halloween. I'm a child at heart. It's my favorite holiday. So when I do my makeup or my kids' makeup for Halloween, even though I was really never into makeup before LimeLife, it's all, you know, it was good stuff that's supposed to last for Halloween, cost a pretty penny, and I just can't believe the difference. And I will never ever go back. Not to mention, like I was telling Michelle before we got started, my skin doesn't break out. That is the biggest difference. It doesn't itch and it doesn't break out. So I can wear this for hours and I will be okay. All right, so I just got to clean that up a little bit. I like to use a Q-tip. Sometimes I will use a blender. It really depends. But I find when I'm using really bold colors, see, like that, I end up making a mess of myself. All right, so this is, like I said, the brush that I used to conceal my whole face first. So anytime that I have the fallout or any messes like I just made, I just grab what's left there, kind of clean it up. All right, so now I'm going to go in with the dark red. This is called Raspberry Beret. I'm obsessed with it. It's such a pretty color. I honestly like to just use the same brush that I was just using, which is not that I was just using for the light red, because I like the way that the two mix together when I'm blending it. So what I do, because I outlined with the darker one or the lighter one, is I'll go in with the darker and then I just kind of stamp it on top of where I already went in with that lighter color. So again, this is, I guess, why it saves me time, because when I tend to go in with a dark color to start, I have a lot of fallout, a lot of mess. And just for me, in the sake of time and sanity, it doesn't work too good. All right, so I like to come down a little bit with the red, but not too far. I actually struggle with a lot of red undertones. So when I'm putting red eyeshadow on, it can be tricky to make sure it's in the right place and not just making it look like I did before the makeup. But again, highly pigmented makes all the difference. If you're somebody who's been scared of bold colors before, maybe, you know, they seem to just kind of blend in with your skin, or they don't stand out the way that you'd like them to, whatever the case may be, it is definitely the quality of the products and probably the fact that they're not pigmented enough. So it really is blending into your skin. But as you can see, just stands right out. All right, so now I'm going to do the little trick that I was talking about with the eyeshadow to use for eyeliner. I have to lean in wicked close to the mirror, so I don't know if you guys can even see what I'm doing, but same process as you would with an eyeliner. This is just easier for me. I do love our liquid liner, but again, I don't know, just the shaky hands. It takes me forever to get the line that I like. My daughter, who's 12, can do either of these in about 2 seconds flat. She's just amazing. And whether she uses the gel liner, whether she uses the eyeshadow technique, she's played in the rain with it on. She's experimented for me, and both last. So I really think it's just a matter of preference. But also, I like how I can do the wing a lot faster. And again, the look that I go for with Harley is kind of the grunge Suicide Squad look. So I don't try to have everything too perfect. I kind of like it to look a little messy, because if you think about the movie, or if you watch the movies, she's, you know, going nuts all over the place. She's laughing 1 minute, crying the next, beating somebody up the next. So, I mean, it makes sense, right? So her lipstick is smeared, her eyeshadow is smeared, everything's kind of a mess. So I think that's another reason I love her makeup and doing this as a costume, because it doesn't have to be perfect. And if you do make mistakes, nobody's going to know, right? All right, so that's the basis of the eyes. I do like to use eyeshadow for my eyebrows when I'm doing Harley, because again, I think that's where all the attention really is on her, right? You know, she's got very sculpted dark eyebrows in comparison to her kind of blondish hair. Obviously the eye makeup is boom, right in your face. And then even the heart that she's got is right under her eye. So when you're doing this as a look, you really want to focus on the eyes, and then everything else kind of comes second. So like I said, you can totally pull off the Harley look without even doing any concealer, foundation, powder beforehand. People will know what you're doing. And that's what I love about it. All right, so eyebrows, again, I'm doing this a lot quicker than I would for myself. When I was told I have 10 to 15 minutes, I was like, maybe I should change my mind, because I don't know how to do anything in 10 to 15 minutes. But I am huge on trying to overcome my own limitations and boundaries. And this has definitely been a new experience for me, because for those of you who might know me, you know that normally when I join these Zooms, I'm like the fly on the wall. I have my screen blanked out. I have everything muted. If anybody has any questions about anything that I'm doing, please let me know. Like I said, these shades might not be exactly what you want to use. These techniques might not be exactly what you want to use. That's totally okay. Setting spray is going to be your best friend no matter what Halloween look you're doing. And honestly, sometimes not only will I use it on the blender full, I will use it kind of in between the process, especially if it's makeup that I want to hold for a long time for like a night out trick-or-treating. All right, eyebrows are done. I used the waterproof mascara on this side. I'm going to do it on this side real fast, just so you can see how much better it looks when you put on mascara. But I think that's the case for all makeup, right? Or even if you're not wearing makeup, it always looks better with mascara. Other thing, if I had the time, I would definitely use both of our mascaras, just because I like the fact that our fiber mascara gives a lot of length. And then I feel like when you use the waterproof over it, not only are you sealing everything in to make sure it stays, but I think it adds that volume. I won't say it makes it look like falsies, but pretty dang close. And for people with glasses, we can't do falsies. So we want to look like we've got those long lashes, right? So honestly, pairing these two together, starting with our fiber mascara, finishing up with this, is definitely the way to go. Curling them, that would help too, but we're just trying to do this quickly. All right, so eyes are pretty much done. Now I want to show you guys the heart. Then we're going to finish with the lips. I had my hair in pigtails, but my son kept pulling them out. So sorry. I actually had the whole get up on, but it was not lasting till this time of night. So same thing. I use that small flat brush. I use the same 09 eyeshadow, and then I just go up and around like the half of a heart, and then I start in the other half. I don't come all the way over. I don't know how well you guys can see, but because if I do that, it makes it really big. So I'll start in this one and then come up and around and then fill it in. And then well, honestly, for this, I would probably recommend using the gel eyeliner, but I couldn't find mine. So earlier today, I did this with the eyeshadow and it came out great, but whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, if you use the gel eyeliner, you're going to have a lot more control and a lot more precision. You can put some like black glitter on top there, whatever you want to do. Now, the thing I'm definitely going to recommend for the lips is my favorite shade, our number 104, which is like Marilyn Monroe's signature shade. She actually helped Alcone, which is our parent company, design the shade many moons ago. So I had to have it. I've, of course, become obsessed with it, and I'm scared of lipstick, but I love this stuff. Now, again, if you're scared of lipstick, don't be, because this is Harley. You don't want to look perfect. You want things to look a little smudged. So should be interesting. I don't really do lipstick on camera. And huge important thing when it comes to lips, no matter what you're using, making sure they are smooth and then primed and prepped, just like your face, is key. So your lips, your makeup, all of that is going to look better if your skin and your lips and everything are properly hydrated, exfoliated, all that fun stuff. Again, don't worry about being perfect, especially if you're somebody who's like me. It's never going to happen when it comes to lips. Now, I actually learned something really cool because, again, I struggle with lips. I don't have the fullest lips. If you get it in the corner, I used to just kind of like pull and like smudge down. You want to actually push in, and then look how much more clean that is. What I used to do is try to rub around, and I'd end up looking like I ate some Kool-Aid or drank some Kool-Aid. And again, doing Harley, it's okay, but I was super happy to learn a trick that actually worked for me. All right, so now to do the smudge, I tend to just come into the middle of my lip, overline over here, like add extra, and then just simple as using my fingers to smudge and make it look like I was, I don't know, in a fight crying over the Joker or whatever she's doing. Then I'm just gonna fix over there. And I honestly can't see what you guys are seeing because that's how bad my eyesight is. So hopefully it looks as good to you guys as it does to me in the mirror here. But yeah, other than my little mess up with the heart there, this is pretty much the technique. Again, setting spray is going to be your best friend, and Harley is just my favorite because you can totally add in variety and do it how you want it. And if you only have 5 minutes, you can really just darken up your eyebrows, throw on some red, throw on some blue, a little heart, some red lipstick, and there you go. But you can even go more glam than this. There are some people I've seen do some crazy looks with her, like bedazzle the whole colors over here. So I think variety is the spice of life, and working what works for you. Oh, okay. So you can find me on Facebook through Ashleigh Marie, but I also have a VIP group, which is Grow and Glow with LimeLife. I find sometimes people find it, if we're not friends personally on Facebook, they are easier finding the group than they are my personal page, but it's probably because there's a lot of Ashleigh Maries out there. It's a pretty common name. Instagram, it's actually at She Rises Above 1. So you can follow me on either one of those platforms if you're interested. But yeah, if you have any questions, definitely let me know. Thank you, hon. Thank you guys so much for joining. I really appreciate it.